Hi, I'm Devora Wilde.
Hi, I'm Ben Starr.
As if by magic.
Wow.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
How did you get into D&D / what was your first experience with it?
My first experience with Dungeons and Dragons was having some friends who were playing it. So it first kind of came into my consciousness before I ever played it. It was something I was acutely aware of, like, as a kid, and it was always something that just seemed on the periphery, something that I didn't have access to, something that just seemed so incredibly impenetrable. And now I have this really amazing campaign that means so much to me with my friends at Natural Six. Most of us were newbies. We have this amazing dungeon master called Harry McIntyre who has come up with this entire world, and people call it millennial therapy. It is. Characters are self-inserts. You kind of insert a lot of your experiences onto it, and that's what it is. What about you?
Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and we did our very first live play of Dungeons and Dragons. That was the first time I was like, oh, this is what D&D actually means, because I think when you're recording a game, I wasn't, you know, especially with Baldur's Gate 3, I wasn't too much into the mechanics of it. I was thinking about the character, you know, as any actor would. So once we played with High Rollers, I was like, and I got to say, when I first got the character sheet, I was intimidated.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a lot of maths, don't like maths. And then once I sat down, I realised it's the DM's job to deal with that, and I don't have to deal with that.
It really is.
And it was so freeing. And I think because I made that realisation very quickly, I was like, oh, I can just role play, which is what actors are great at, and I can let the DM deal with the numbers, and he can tell me what to do or what not to do, and then I can kind of chill. And I think that led to me having a very nice experience.
Next question.
I think we're ready for the next question. Okay, what's your most memorable experience with D&D?
We are in the middle of this incredibly epic fight at the top of this tower. We see spectral versions of his deceased parents, his real deceased parents, these spectral versions. And at one point, Doug just went, stop, stop. Our amazing DM said, roll for it. And he rolled a nat 20. Ooh. The only thing that would have worked is a nat 20. So suddenly these enemies were kind of softened to their version of their son. And he did this unbelievably inspiring roleplay where a spoon that he had carved 4 episodes before, so that is probably about 10 hours earlier, he hands it to his parents and he goes, this is the man I've become.
Oh.
I'm even tearing up now. And like as a person, and I've been quite vocal about this. I lost my dad 4 years ago. It was the most and everyone just was absolutely in tears, because what you have is a moment of pure improvisation, pure luck, dice roll, maths, everything coalescing into this one moment. And I was like, wow, this is the catharsis I needed. And I was just there crying, watching someone else perform a scene. No one's there.
Yeah.
It's not real, but it feels real. It feels so accessible. And it was this remarkable moment that resonated with everyone, whether you've lost someone, whether you know someone who's been lost, or whether you just appreciate or can be empathetic in a moment. It was like, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I do this game, because that is magic. Like this whole series of things. And we have this show afterwards, and I just thanked him for that moment, because I saw a lot of myself, and I can understand why people imprint onto that, and that's why it was massive for me.
Next question, please.
D&D is such a specific experience at the table. How does it feel when you see that translated faithfully into a game like Solasta II?
I think for me, as a relatively new D&D player, it's a lot about what you were saying. A lot of it is automated for you. So for me, that removes the barrier to entry, the barrier to entry, because I think if I hadn't had this experience that I have as an actor in the D&D space, if you were to come to me and say, hey, Dev, do you want to start playing this D&D? And here's the rules and stuff, and here's how you play it, I would be maybe a bit intimidated. Yeah. But the fact that this experience can be translated into a video game that does a bit of the heavy lifting for you while staying, you know, faithful to the rules of D&D and the fundamentals of D&D, for me, sort of takes the pressure off.
The immersive nature of playing a video game enhances the rule set. it's difficult sometimes when you're playing D&D to feel truly immersed in it. You have amazing places like where we are now that offer the opportunity for players to be as immersive as possible. You can be in a room that could have music, and you can have if all of your players are really, really engaged in it, and the mood lighting's right, and you really are all in that moment, there's something just really electric about it. But I think that the one thing about a video game is it is truly immersive. You have the music, you have the characters, you have the world, you have this sense of place and scale that does the work for you, as well as when it rolls a dice, it's going to add your modifiers and stuff like that. So it does, like you said, remove that barrier to entry, make it seem, take away the fear that you might have. I know lots of people who've got into D&D as a result of playing D&D adjacent games. That would be a great joy, is if someone who's never even touched it before plays Solasta II and goes, oh, actually, the 2024 D&D rule set's pretty neat.
Yeah. That's
really, really cool. I think I can go and play that with my friends.
Exactly. And this is not what I thought it was, or this is not as intimidating as I thought it was, because I think I was very intimidated by D&D because it's vast. It's been around for so many years. It's huge, really. And yeah, that takes away a bit of that. And at the same time, you are master of your own destiny. I mean, how cool is it to be in control? Your choices are shaping the game in real time.
It feels like tactical adventures are the DM. You know, they're the ones who've created the world. They're the ones that are guiding you on the story, and it's not railroading you. It's offering you opportunities for play. They are positioning you in a playground of possibility.
Next question.
And dare I say, last question.
What would you say to someone who doesn't know much about D&D, or maybe looking at getting into the hobby?
I would say fear is a thing that can really hold you back. I totally get why you wouldn't want to, because it just seems something that is so not in your comfort zone. What's the worst that could happen?
It's a game.
You have fun.
You have fun.
I do think that games like this are a wonderful gateway into the hobby. I think there's a fear in the role play aspect of it. There is the fear of embarrassing yourself in front of other people. You don't need to role play. The character sheet gives everything for you. But I think a game like Solasta II can offer you an opportunity to see what the rules are, to see how the game works. And then if you want to, dip your toe into actual live play and see what that's like. You know, it's very easy to see a cipher do the work for you, to see if it's something you want to do, because you can't really embarrass yourself. And there is, I get it, like even as a professional performer, I get embarrassed because I think, am I going to be rubbish? Are you going to judge me for it? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Don't worry. If you're playing with a group of friends, they're not going to mind. And I know a lot of people that don't even role play. They just allow the story to happen. And it's like, right, I roll this, I attack. I don't have to quip every time I attack, you know?
Yeah.
Take the leap. Take the leap. It is really worth it, and it's Dungeons and Dragons has changed my life for the positive. It has allowed me to look at myself, ask myself uncomfortable questions in a safe environment with friends. It has allowed me to examine some very, very deep topics in a way that is adjacent to real life, and it has allowed me to get through therapy a little bit better, because actually I'm doing it with friends, and it's about placing aspects of myself into another character and thinking about it in a safe way with math.
With math. Yeah, I think as a relatively new player, I would say, just go for it. D&D, if you had told me 10 years ago that this is kind of what my career at the moment would be based around, I'd be like, no way, I don't even know what that is. And now, similar to you, it's become such a central thing in my life, and I would love to explore more of it. And I think you're right, games like Solasta II are the gateway. And for me, it's completely, playing games like this has completely removed the intimidation factor, which I certainly felt when I was presented with Dungeons and Dragons as a concept. I mean, I think everything that you said was just spot on. So I think just enjoy it. I think whenever you have a moment of, should I get into this? Should I play this? Especially with D&D, because it is fundamentally, it's a game. It's supposed to be fun. Just try it. Just do it.
Thank you for sitting down and chatting with me
Yes,
about
good
Dungeons.
chat.
Yeah, it was a good chat,
Yeah.
and thank you at home for
For
watching this.
tuning in.
Yeah, for tuning in. We hope that you have enjoyed it. You've taken a bit away from it, and we hope that if you like this, then you maybe can experience a little bit more of us in Solasta
Solasta
II.
II.